When I was turning 12, my parents took me to the Peppermint Grill in Kamloops for a birthday party with some of my friends. And we had a great meal. It was, everyone was there. And I got my birthday presents and I was opening them up. And I guess I was hoping for something else, or I was disappointed. And apparently my attitude wasn't that great. And I wasn't as appreciative of like getting a birthday present and what I got. And that kind of reminds me of this study from Harvard psychologist David Lavari. And so what he did is he took some participants and he said, hey, you're gonna be marking these like reports as ethical or unethical. And so started off, and at the beginning, the participants didn't know this, but about 20% were unethical. And so people would kind of mark them and as they go along. As the study went on though, he kept on giving them less and less unethical papers. What he found interesting was though, the hit rate of unethically marked papers stayed about the same, about 20%. And so what this tells me is that when us as humans don't have any problems, we start to look for problems, right? We just look at smaller problems, or we focus on smaller problems. And this can really lead to our money, right? Like we have this a sense of unhappiness. Oh, we got the car we wanted. Oh, now we want to go on the vacation. Now we want this, now we want that. And so there's this this urge in us no matter what we get. And it's like, oh, if I only had that, I'd be happy. That isn't true. And so here are 4 tips to kind of curb this in your life. And number 1 is keep an appreciation journal. And that's something we've started in our family. We've got this journal and just writing down things that you're really grateful for. And with a garden, if you fill your garden with plants, there's less room for weeds to grow. So if you fill your life with appreciation and thankfulness, there's just less weeds and unhappiness to grow. Number 2, review where you were 10 years ago. You've changed a lot. Like I bet you for the better too, like financially and maybe relationships. I bet you're in a better place today than you were 10 years ago for the most part. And that's really powerful to say like, hey, this is great. Like, look at where I was, look at where I am. This is, would I love to be, 10 years younger, a few pounds lighter and have all this? Yes, I would, but life is pretty good right now. So number 3, list all the comforts in your life that your parents or your grandparents didn't have. Wow, right? Like, can you just a generation ago, like no cell phones, no like any of this stuff. And so it's pretty amazing if you look back, it's like, hey, we are living in just a great time. And so that just kind of, I think, puts a perspective on things that, 2 generations ago, people were getting water in the creek to drink, right? Things have changed so much. And then, get out of your comfort zone. I read this great book called The Comfort Crisis, and it talks about just getting outside and in with nature and being a little bit cold now and then, because really I'm in a temperature controlled office. I go in my temperature controlled car to my temperature controlled house. I'm never uncomfortable, right? I've got a nice couch and just things like, and so, if I get a little bit uncomfortable, it kind of changes my perspective on things, and I'm probably going to be a little bit more relaxed when, things don't go my way. I'll have like a little bit more capacity because I've gone through that grit. And maybe fasting is something that, goes back to biblical times of a way of kind of resetting your body. So hope you like those tips. If you have any for me, please let me know.